The summer transfer window has officially begun, and many clubs are looking to rebuild after a disappointing campaign. As we come towards the end of FIFA 23's life cycle, these are 5 teams in need of a rebuild before the start of the next season. So first up is Chelsea. Now, despite spending a lot of money last season, Chelsea ended up finishing 12th in the Premier League. They spent a lot of money on new players, however, a lot of those new players struggled to settle in. Quite a lot of players have left Chelsea as well, like Kante, Kovacic, Jorginho and Mason Mount. This means that in real life they need some new players, and you can replicate that in the game with their high transfer budget of £134 million. So here's a quick look at the Chelsea squad. So as you can see, you're working with a fairly decent team, but it has some weaknesses. For example, their only striker is João Felix, who's on loan, and instead they play Havertz, who in real life has gone to Arsenal. A lot of their other players in this squad have left in real life, for example Mason Mount, Koulibaly, Mendy and Kovacic. And some of their starting 11 players are quite low rated, for example Madueke and Chalobah. Now next up is Leicester City. Premier League champions only 7 years ago, Leicester got relegated this season. With quite a good squad, it simply isn't good enough. A lot of their players have now left, like James Maddison's gone to Spurs, Tielemans has gone to Villa. This leaves Leicester without a lot of their best players, and they'll spend next season in the Championship. However, they do have a transfer budget of almost 70 million. If you're doing this on FIFA 23, I recommend starting Leicester City in the Championship to make it more realistic. So, this is Leicester's squad in game, and it doesn't actually look that bad. However, quite a few players have left in real life, like James Maddison. And to make it realistic, sell some of the best players that have gone in real life, like James Maddison and Tielemans. Now, quite the opposite to Leicester, Luton are a club on the way up. Not that long ago, they were a non-league club, but they've made their way up to the Championship, and now, after winning the playoffs, they're in the Premier League next season. Now, they have a weak squad, and no one really expected them to go up, and so they're probably going to struggle in the Premier League. And with such a low transfer budget at just 8.5 million, it's going to be difficult to improve the squad. And since they're going to be playing against big teams with a lot of money, like Manchester City and Liverpool, I think they're going to struggle. Most of their players are around 70 overall, and they have by far the weakest squad in the Premier League. So next up is Liverpool. Now, Liverpool also had a bad season last year, and while they didn't do as bad as Chelsea, they did miss out on Champions League football, and so next season they'll be playing in the Europa League. They've also lost quite a few players in real life, like Milner and Firmino, and their squad's quite a lot weaker than it has been in the past, especially in the midfield. They also have a very high transfer budget of 156 million. Okay, so here's the squad. Now, while their attack's looking quite good, as you can see, their midfield and defence is a little bit weak. And finally, we have Wolves. A few years ago, Wolves finished 7th in the Premier League. However, this season, they almost got relegated. Their squad is quite a lot weaker now, and they've just recently lost their best player, Ruben Neves. And without a good striker, they've struggled to score goals. But they do have a decent transfer budget of 58 million. So this is their current squad in FIFA 23. But a lot of these players have now left, like Collins and Neves. And to make it realistic, you should probably sell some of their players like Neves, who's left in real life. Anyway, that's some of the teams that I think you should rebuild after the last season. If you did enjoy this video or found it helpful, then please consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And if you're bored of player career mode in FIFA 23, then click the end screen here, where I show you 5 things you can do to make your player career mode more fun.